Hi, welcome to the Michael McBrine Show. We're talking about Logan. Anyway, so they pretty much reset everything, and there's like this happy ending in Days of Futures Past, right? I don't know what happened in Apocalypse, whatever, but I'm assuming this is the same timeline at the end of Days of Futures Past.
No,
it's not.
No,
what
a separate timeline altogether.
This is like a third timeline.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. So Wolverine is a limo driver now. Okay. And it's him and Professor X and Caliban, who they have Professor X stashed away down in Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or okay so far. I'm not really, too excited to see Wolverine as a limo driver, but okay, sure, why not? Here's my major problem with these movies are. This is not Wolverine from the comic book. And that's my major problem. This is a character named Logan, sometimes named Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman, but this is not Wolverine from the comics. I'm a fan of Wolverine from the comics.
This is an aged Wolverine from the comics who is trying to stay in hiding. Therefore, he takes a job as a limo driver.
No, this is not the comic book Wolverine we've all grown to love. This is a character.
Well, did you ever read Old Man Logan?
Yes.
Well, he wasn't the same Wolverine he was in.
No, what I'm saying is all the movies.
Well, you got to take into account what it's actually the source material that it's somewhat taking from. I mean,
they took a lot of liberties with this. Was Laura X-23 even in Old Man Logan?
No.
No. So what? That's the main plot of this movie. Yeah, it just happens to be that Logan is old in this one, and also he's old in a comic.
Well, it does in a way too. It does take a lot from as far as like setting and kind of tone.
The only thing that really it takes is he travels cross country.
Well, the tone too. They're both sort of like westerny.
Oh my God, the tone.
Well, and plus also at the same time you couldn't have.
Oh yeah, because tone doesn't matter in a movie, of course.
They didn't even have anybody take Hawkeye's place. So how can you? And Hawkeye was a major factor.
Hawkeye was a glorified Green Arrow. This was basically what Mark Millar's. He wrote it, right?
I think so.
This was basically his Dark Knight Returns.
So anyway,
yeah, I mean,
okay, so
same setup.
You have Wolverine. This character called Wolverine, who's not the same Wolverine from the comic. It's like the names and places are there, but it's not. Even Professor X is not like the Professor X in the comics. And this is what I.
Oh yeah, he's on the verge of dementia.
Even before then, and the other. This is my problem with the X-Men movies is they're not really X-Men movies. You hear what I'm saying? They got the names, but it's none of the actual personalities or characters that should match up with them. Anyway.
Isn't that how all movies based on media, on other forms of media is?
No, it's Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. It's the same
Well, they just barely got Spider-Man as a character right.
No, even Tony Stark. He's Tony Stark practically from the comics. This Wolverine is not Wolverine from the comics. Anyway.
He's missing that feral, like, sort of... animalistic side to him. He doesn't even have the teeth, which I would have. They could have added that. That could have been a cool addition to it.
They're trying too hard with this Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? Like there's that scene where he's at that water pump with like the Eric LaSalle. Which, by the way, it was nice to see Eric LaSalle.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a while. Like,
so
he's been living off of Coming to America residuals.
He's the Jerry curl. There's like these. Which, by the way, what was up with that? I guess it's in the future. You can just say in the future, it's more lawlessness or whatever, and there's bullies or whatever. It's not that far fetched. Anyway, so they come and say, "What are you doing around here, boy?" And then Wolverine says, "You're gonna get back, and you're gonna go." And it was like, yeah, we get it. You're a tough guy, Anyway, I have questions about Logan. Maybe you guys can answer them for me.
Okay.
First question: These Reavers is what they're called. The guy with the robot hands.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was his character's name? That's my first question. I have no idea. He reminded me of what was his name off of the British dude from the original Hulk, not the original, but the last Hulk movie where he became Abomination.
Oh, are you talking about
The guy from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I know
who
you're talking about.
This guy reminded me of like a vaguely southern version of that character.
Well, he was on the he came from the show Narcos. It's really good in it.
So I kept waiting for him to turn into Abomination at one point, just because that's what you reminded me of. Okay, so he's leading these Reavers. Why are they chasing after the girl? That's my first question.
Because she's their property.
Yeah. She's a part of a.
Okay, so they want her back at their facility?
Yes.
So they're not trying to kill her?
Well, what they're doing is supposed to be like highly legal. I don't think they prefer to have her back alive, but I think they're willing to kill her if they have to.
Because I could be confused, but this Gabriella character, she helped free the children, the new mutants, because they were about to kill them all because they have this new X-24 that was supposed to replace them. So these kids they didn't need anymore. Am I remembering this correctly? I think that's what they were about to kill the kids, but they let them go. But then they find X-23, if you want. I don't know what they call. They didn't even call her that. That was supposed to be. That's the only thing that bothered me is I was thinking like one kid's gonna be X-21, one kid's gonna be X-22. Laura's just happens to be X-23, but no, they were all X-23, which was weird. Anyway, I didn't understand. So X-24. By the way, I'm sorry for anybody that we're spoiling this movie. Go watch it. He finally captures her at one point when they're at the farmhouse, and he hog-ties her. Why wouldn't he just kill her there? This doesn't make sense to me. They were going to kill her at the facility. Why wouldn't they just kill her there? Why are they working so hard to chase? I can understand she's a missing piece, and there's ties back to them if this person is found. But why not just kill them immediately?
What did they just tie her up?
They did tie her up. They tie her up, just then cut off her head. You know.
Well, why not shoot the escape pod at the beginning of New Hope?
Because they didn't register any life signs, and it wasn't worth the energy. So anyway, next question.
Oh no.
How did this Laura character learn to fight the way she did? Because in when they're showing, by the way, that was the laziest thing. When there's like he's watching the cell phone footage, you know, they should have just had Gabrielle just do this all in one big flashback and then get over instead of just Wolverine looking at himself. I don't know. I just thought it was goofy.
Well, she's feral.
Yeah, but she was doing some like hurricane ranas and you know all this other stuff, and it was there was some skill to what she was doing.
She was a weapon.
Yeah, but
it's that easy to explain. She is a weapon.
Genetic memory.
She is bred to be a weapon.
It's in her DNA to know that stuff.
Yeah.
She's
basically a clone, so she's sort of getting all.
From what I understood, from what I saw, they never really taught them anything. They were just testing their powers. That's from what it looked like.
Well, maybe you didn't see all the videos.
There you go. Okay, fine. So they've established she can fight. She can handle her own, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did Gabriella end up getting killed then? Because Wolverine finds her body, and she's dead. They've killed her. If she can handle herself, because when she goes to that little Mexican, like, I don't know what they call it, Wolverine's little place where he's stashed Professor X, she's kicking ass, and she like, you know, kills like 8 of the Reavers. Why not kill them when they were killing Gabriella?
Because she was out getting ice.
I love it if that was like the real reason. She's getting ice.
She's out there getting ice.
She comes back to the room. Oh, spaghetti-o. No, I don't know. So okay.
She would have told her to hide.
But why though? Here's another question. Next question.
I mean, why did she even need Logan to go across
Why-
country then?
Why do they keep filling up these clones of Wolverine with adamantium? First of all, I thought adamantium was extremely rare, but apparently they've got enough.
They're
fill
soldiers. They're supposed.
more
They're expendable. They're gonna be. They don't expect them to have a long lifespan.
Well, isn't there like a
So they don't
huge-
care. They don't care. They're just weapons. They're
Okay.
a huge mine of it over in Wakanda, like of adamantium?
And I guess there's no Black Panther in this universe.
there is now.
Well, I guess if Fox is with. Okay, next question. So they put this adamantium. They lace it over Laura's bones. Is Laura not going to grow now? Because don't bones usually grow when you get older? Is she going to be stuck and like a hunched, like because she can't grow now because her bones.
Well, that
are
would be
laced
that.
adamantium.
I mean, I understand. Hold on, I understand why that would be a good thing though, and why they would actually do that is because like, what's more unassuming than a little girl? Wouldn't they want her to stay like that forever?
Wouldn't it be constant pain though?
They
Like, her
don't care.
bones-
She's a weapon. They own her.
No, she couldn't function. Her bones are being slowly crushed. You know.
Yeah, and her healing factor will continue to alleviate that.
What
just
about
I mean,
her-
you're just making things like
No, I'm just
you're just
saying,
making things more
if they can
difficult. Like,
rapidly
Well, wait,
age
it's starting to
X24,
sound like
why
you're
not
looking for
rapidly
reasons.
age
But
But
Laura?
wait. Actually, that is kind of a good point because what if the bones don't grow? Okay, I get that. The bones are going to stay the same shape, like the Chinese, how they bind the feet together to
It
make
always
stay
goes
the same
back to the
shape.
Asians with him.
Now,
oh my God, shut the
But-
fuck.
He
You
found
stop.
but no,
you
wait,
fucking
wait,
stop.
Let him
Wait,
talk,
wait.
let him
Stop.
talk,
Wait,
let him
but the
talk.
bones may stay the same size, but the muscle and the skin is still going to grow.
Exactly.
So she's going to have small bones, but her muscle and
Like,
skin is
she's
going
gonna
to
have all this
continue
flesh,
to
and it's
yeah,
gonna
it's
be
going to be
weird,
floppy,
like a hunchback almost.
like a floppy monster.
It's just not a good idea to put adamantium into a child.
Unless if the anime,
You're all putting way too much thought into how like something that's
Like-
like owned. It's
could be
property.
like some
She
kind
is
of mesh.
property.
like maybe
And they-
adamantium nano bots that like kind of grow with the bones.
They've already established they can make multiple of her. Why would they care when it gets to a certain point? Oh, we'll just throw this one out. Make a
here-
new one.
Let's move on to my next question.
I mean,
about the
she's
film
mass
Loki.
market. She's a weapon. God damn.
So these children, what would you say, from what you remember? And I give you guys credit. What did this movie originally come out, like February or something like that? So it's been probably, but what was the last time you saw it? Like 10 months ago, something like that?
Yeah.
All right. What would you say the average age of one of the New Mutants is? Like the
I would
children.
say 10 to 12.
Yeah.
13.
12.
10 to 13. Yeah.
Are they old enough to start developing mutant powers? Because wasn't it puberty that you're supposed to start developing your mutant powers? Some of these kids look like they're about 8 or 9 years old.
That was never established in this universe.
okay.
Yeah, well, plus also they were in
Well,
scientific
Never
facility.
established in this
I'm
universe.
just saying,
They
in,
made-
in X-Men Origins Wolverine, when Logan or James or whatever you want to call him, he turned like 12 or 13. When he got that age and he started going through puberty, that's when his claws first came out. So that was around puberty. So I'm just saying, some of these kids look a little young to have any kind of mutant abilities.
Maybe they were tweaked to where they would
That's a
activate earlier
possibility.
because they were clones. I mean,
Yeah.
they tampered
I
with
feel like
DNA.
I've given this movie way too much time. Is it?
I think you're giving it way too much critical
So
thought.
before, okay. So up to this,
It
point,
all sounds frivolous, really. It
up
does.
to this point, I wasn't hating this movie.
Oh my
I
God.
was a
What
little
made you
bored.
hate it?
I was a little bored at some parts because, as far as gratuitous violence or Wolverine said the word "fuck," I really don't care. The story has to be there. What is it to you guys that you liked this movie so much, or what do you think people? Because 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So there has to be something that people like. What was it that people liked about this movie?
I like the characters. I like the story. I liked that it felt like I was saying, I was like Dark Knight Returns. It was a gritty, dark story about Logan looking for redemption and his daughter.
I liked it because I really liked the chances it took, and it felt like it felt like a Western almost to me, like just the way it was set up and like the certain beats in it and like the the tone.
Okay, here's where you guys are wrong. All right.
Well, you just proved how you were wrong by asking all these questions. So you can tell us how we're wrong.
Okay. This movie, first of all, boy, where do I even start? During the scene where he's at the farmhouse, was I the only one that had a problem with them staying there? Because at that point, they know the Reavers can track them somehow. They're not sure how exactly. So they know they're putting these people's lives in danger, but they're still hanging around anyway. I had problems with that. They should have known, but there should have been some sense, okay? Which, by the way, is hilarious. They got that whole family killed. They ended up getting the whole family killed. Next, the whole... And somebody... I was arguing with someone else about this today. Mm-hmm. They said it's
someone else telling you you're wrong.
Yeah, it's a father and daughter bonding movie. What? Logan and Laura didn't really care about each other up until the very end. You know,
that's usually how bonding works.
No,
at first there's not much of a bond, and then by the end, a bond has formed.
Bonding, though. There was nothing for them to bond over.
Oh man,
there was the entire movie for them to bond over.
I just thought it was bullshit. At the very end, where she's going, Daddy, where'd that come from? You suddenly care about this person now? I know how it works. I know it's a slow burn, but still.
I know. She should have said cloning.
They should. They shared like.
He should have died in his original costume in X-Men.
They shared a short truck ride together. Oh, that's. But this person that she hasn't known her whole life, she's only met a couple of days ago, and then all of a sudden, Daddy is like.
I'm angry that they didn't delve further into the fact that X-23 was a whore natural. In the comics.
There's some. Like I'm trying to think of an example of a movie where relationships happen naturally.
What about John Connor and the Terminator? How they bonded over,
Yeah, but that was natural though. There was a
this was just as natural.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
No, yeah.
It was.
This was natural to the character. This was natural to the character.
It was forced at the end, Daddy. Whatever.
It was natural.
So, I didn't hate the movie up till that point. I thought it was a little boring in parts. When I started to hate the movie was the funeral scene at the end. That is where I started cringing so hard that I had to stop and take a break from the movie and then come back because it was so corny and cheesy. She starts by reciting the speech. What was the movie they watched? Was it Shane or The Searcher? Shane. Which is appropriate because someone should have been yelling, shame, shame at the directors and producers. I know it was Shane. She's only heard this speech one time before. She's reciting it perfectly. It's good for her. She has what they call idyllic memory, whatever they call it.
Well, she has a weapon.
Can I ask you, how could this have been a better movie to you?
No, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Oh, so she starts reading it, which is corny to begin with. All right, so that's corny, and then all the kids leave, and then she does what I think is probably the single cheesiest thing in cinematic history. She takes the cross and she turns it askew and it makes an X.
Can I just say one
That
thing?
was cheesy as fuck.
Can I just say?
I liked it.
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead. Sam.
I mean, you're calling this scene like cheesy as fuck, yet you were upset that they didn't put the original costumes in the first X-Men movie. That would have at the.
I'm not even saying that per se, but I'm saying they went out of their way to say that was stupid. That the costumes were stupid.
No, they were throwing back to the costumes, knowing that they weren't.
No, they said, "What are we gonna do? Wear yellow spandex?" It's like you're insulting the thing that got you there.
You're taking it as an insult.
It was an insult.
It was
an insult to the. It was them saying, "What are we gonna do? Wear yellow spandex? Fuck comic books." You know, it's basically.
Were they really doing that, or were they doing like ah?
No, they was.
It was. That's the way you took it, because when I heard that, that's the way I took it. I took it as like they're just. It's just. You can either take it personal, or you can just enjoy the movie.
I tried to enjoy it. I didn't care. I was wondering what in the world do people like about this movie? It was very poorly written.
What?
You know, it was. It was poorly written. There were plot holes all throughout this.
They were not. They were not plot holes.
Wolverine could not have stabbed as many plot holes in the script.
Do you? I'm gonna. Okay, can you define plot holes for?
Plot holes. Okay.
I just want to know that you know what that is.
Searching after her.
What?
Why were the Reavers searching after? Why not just kill her? That's a plot hole.
They had to kill her.
They had an opportunity and they didn't. They were just gonna bring her home.
They knew she knew where all the rest of them were.
Is that it?
Yeah. They had. It would have been easier to find the rest of them. They had her, and they can't just shoot her. They established that too. It's like, why are you shooting at her?
How were they planning on killing her in the first place then?
I mean, they could dip her in acid, or like do what they did in the comics to Wolverine, and just like dip her in adamantium or whatever.
Well, they could have tried chopping her head off. Can I say something?
Healing
else?
Factor.
Can I say something else about this movie? Wolverine has been around since 1977. I believe. So they've had 40 years worth of characters. Was there ever an X-24 clone? Or did that happen after I stopped reading? Like a clone of Wolverine, just like that? Because
let me ask you this. Does it really matter in the long run?
Because they have so
Does it have to adhere to comic book
they have
the comic
so
book
much
code?
Source material, and then they just say, we'll clone him. Why not his son? Why not just use him?
I mean, why when they were doing those old Batman cartoons, did they just not use a different character and instead of creating Harley Quinn and all that? Well, I mean, why?
They had several episodes. This is one movie.
I mean, this is all sounds kind of like this isn't my X-Men. Rabble, 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 rabble.
Honestly, I'm at the point now I don't care about X-Men anymore.
Well, I don't care about X-Men either, but that's the thing.
After
I really like this movie.
And these movies, I don't care. I just wanted a good movie, and this.
Well, you got one. You just refuse to just let your stuff go. Just let it go, man.
Handle all the plot holes.
You keep saying plot holes, but I don't think you know what those are, man.
Holes in the plot.
I just explained to you what.
No.
Okay.
How they don't explain things, and I don't know. People have mysterious.
Yeah, it's just weird, and like when someone doesn't want to take the audience for being idiots and feel like they don't need to hold their hand and explain everything to them. Ooh.
No,
audiences hate that. Audiences are so brain dead. Give them everything explained out on a silver platter. I'm going to compare this to Last Jedi, where nothing got accomplished and all of the plot led to a big nothing. But okay, let's forget about it.
This was worse than Last Jedi. I'll say that.
No, it was not even close.
It was worse.
Not even close.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just hyperbole there.
Last Jedi was boring in parts and had major flaws with the characters they used.
Last Jedi is the definition of a plot hole. Logan it may, yes,
I'm so frustrated.
it can be critiqued. It can
You-
be
you-
critiqued.
Like my words.
Like
Well,
every
how do you
other
think where you
movie,
feel over here? Like,
but it is not. But it's not riddled with plot holes to the point that
Well,
it is
so-
unwatchable.
But you know what? The Last Jedi wasn't filled with corny ass shit.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it
Oh
was.
wait,
It
wait,
was
wait.
totally
You mean
filled with
you mean
corny
that
ass shit.
alien filling BB-8 with coins? You mean that whole scene at the
Porgs?
end where the porgs? You mean the whole scene where the kid just like grabbed
I like the porgs.
Oh Jesus. Okay. I if there's any listeners out there, I want to start a petition.
I want to know what the Weekly Yak has to say about this. That's what I want to know. Weekly Yak, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, you're full of shit. Last Jedi sucked.
Shouldn't that sound like a yak voice though?
Yak.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
Yak.
What do you mean? Why is the title card still showing?
I have no clue.
No, that's
But
what- are you? Hold on. Someone just commented, "Why is the title card still showing?" I was going to talk about a lot of different stuff. And we got stuck on.
No, this was good.
Dude with Logan.
I was so like, it was hard listening to you say this shit.
Yeah, because I was making points. Goddamn.
No. You were making really, really bad points, and we
it's
had to
not-
tell
it's
you
not
you were
so
making
much.
bad points.
Okay.
Agree to disagree.
Logan was not my. cup
Well,
of
no,
tea.
you shot yourself in the foot when you just went like, "Oh, it's worse than the Last Jedi." I
Yeah.
think that's what you could have had a good argument. You could have stood on your own argument
I
if
don't
you
know,
would have just left that out.
Look, that funeral scene made it worse than the Last Jedi.
No.
What?
I didn't look. The only real cringe
The whole-
part about the Last Jedi was the Mary Poppins. That was cringeworthy. That last 5 minutes.
You mean to tell
with
me
the
it's like-
Daddy and the Shane speech? That was so cheesy.
You mean to tell me it was cheesier than the whole
Wolverine
like
trying to
than
be
the whole
so
like
badass
what's her
and
name kissing
macho
Finn
and-
at the end? It's like yeah, you did. This is love. This is how you win.
I was
you know,
happy he wasn't kissing a man. No, I'm just kidding. Just get homophobic.
No. I mean,
I don't know. I want to see a good movie now. I'm in the mood for a good movie.
well, you saw Logan. You just
Nah. Every single one of the Wolverine movies are just garbage.
I don't know.
You know what? You enjoyed them. I'm happy for you.
No.
I'm happy for you.
Well, see, that's the thing. If someone enjoys them, you can be happy for them. But like when
happy
someone
for
hates
you.
something, can you be like, "Oh man, that's awesome that you hated that, bro"? No, you get with them. You're like, "Oh man, what the hell are you talking about? That shit was like you send more like you send more bad vibes that way." So
Well, wouldn't it be like if they like something, you feel happy for them? If they dislike something, you feel bad for them? I'm sorry, man. You can't. Look,
Say that
look,
again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Say-
Yeah, we
I'm
say that
sorry.
again.
You
everybody at
couldn't
home,
enjoy
feel
Logan.
bad for McBrine for not enjoying
What
Logan.
did you say again? I didn't catch that.
I feel bad for you that you couldn't look past
Good.
just the
Feel
small
bad for me,
critiques.
please
Yes.
do.
Yeah, you couldn't enjoy an awesome movie, and I feel so bad for you right now.
Here's another question.
I'm sorry, McBrine.
Yeah.
How did
I'm so sorry.
Laura know that Logan needed the syringe to calm down Professor X?
Because she's a weapon.
Yeah, see,
They'd already-
That's my. Thank you for validating all
They-
my opinions.
They had
I'm not
already
saying
been traveling
everything is
together for a
weapon.
while, and they didn't have to tell you that because the audience is not an idiot.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's been used before.
Some all of us, not all of us, need our hands being held. So yeah, I mean, it was
I'm
easy to
just a big
figure
gun
that
that
out.
needs-
That's what ruined
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Okay. That's what?
That's what ruined Interstellar. Because they had to hold the audience's hand the entire time instead of like, just let it go.
We should
Let it
do this.
happen.
What were they holding the hands with? I don't remember. Is there a particular part you remember?
Yeah.
referring to?
Through the whole him like spiraling through the inner space, whatever it was.
Inner Space. Now that's a movie. No, I'm just kidding. What? I don't see how. What do you mean they were holding the hand of the audience? I don't.
There was a lot of points in the movie where they're explaining everything as it happens and it's unnecessary. It just felt like you don't need this. Just kind of like let it go. And
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Interstellar. I don't remember.
How long has it been since you've seen Inner Space?
Inner Space? It's been too long since I've seen Inner Space. I love that movie when I was a kid.
I saw it a few months
Except for
ago.
the plot holes. No, I'm just kidding. The plot holes in Inner Space. As if Inner Space could have plot holes. I mean, seriously. The Martin Short.
I think we should do this again. I think what
no,
we
talk about Logan. I'm done with Logan.
no. I think we should all pick out a movie that like is genuinely loved by everybody and just kind of like argue like
that should be the new Friday night show that replaces
Wait, Alien 3?
oh fuck you, Alien 3 fucking sucks dick. Don't ever. Oh dude, we had a fucking argument about this the other day. Like he loves Alien 3 and RoboCop 2, and I just fucking despise. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do admit the CGI is terrible, but that was a product of its time.
Dude, just
I just thought the thing about Alien 3 was it wasn't completely like a terrible movie. It was just a big wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it was Alien 1, and you can't follow. I mean, there was already Alien 1, and then you had Alien 2. You can't follow Alien 2 by trying to make Alien 1 again.
The Xenomorph dogs were kind of stupid, too. You got to admit that.
Yeah. Oh, but no,
it was a cow.
They changed it. That's his big fucking thing. They fucking changed it. Yeah.
Did you just say Xenomorph cow?
Yeah.
What movie was I watching? Because I
No. They did a reshoot.
They did a recut.
And,
oh, it was originally supposed to be a cow. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that one. Xenomorph cow. Xenomorphs are running around going moo.
They look the same.
They say moo, and then like the little head comes out moo.
It's the same Xenomorph. It's just a different scene of the birth of Xenomorph.
Okay. Well, then that was probably a change for the better. the dog, because I think a dog is a lot more. You know, you see cow and you're just laughing. You know, I don't know. Well, anyway, that's all the time we have for the Michael McBrine show with Mike McBrine. Any idea what's going to go on Friday night? I don't know. We'll have to discuss. Will we be doing something? Will I learn how to talk? Who knows? These are all questions that will be answered. I can't believe I only recorded 30 minutes of the show. God dang it. Anyway, good night, everybody.